in Texas, and she's 20 years old, and she will be playing Tracy Turnblad this holiday season on NBC. So I'm really excited. I think it's really cool to when networks are giving such a big platform and opportunity to new artists. When they could put all the celebrities they want to do, all the celebrities they want to put in it, because every celebrity wants to be a part of these now, and they are continuing to showcase new talent. I think that's awesome.
I do too. I agree.
Yeah, congrats to
Come
her
on,
because
Texas.
I would much rather have them to pick someone just from an audition, just an everyday girl from an audition, as opposed to some celebrity. You know what I mean?
Right, 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 right.
So
And
plus it
she
gives her a lot
said,
of exposure, and her
right.
career is going to change at this point
Oh,
drastically.
for sure. And
So
they auditioned over 1,000 Tracys, so to be picked, I mean that's pretty incredible. And I will say there's always kind of been that thing in theater where it's another area of kind of weight issues, because if you're a big girl in theater, in like real life theater, you're going to struggle because most people that are in theater usually come from a dance background. So they're all usually thin, they're all
Yep.
usually really fit, they're all usually the same exact height. So
Mhm.
if you have a different body type, you either play in the lead or you're not in the show.
Right.
And so for them to so a lot of times when Hairspray is done on TV and movies on Broadway, it's usually a girl that wears a size 6 and she wears padding, you
Right.
know. But they actually picked a girl that was really full figured, and she's
Mhm.
really cute. So
Yeah.
I'm again really excited. So look out for more information about that later this year.
Awesome.
yay, congrats to you.
That's good.
You rock. Okay, so moving on to other entertainment topics. Cats, what's going on with that?
Yeah, so again, another musical topic. A couple weeks ago, we talked about how shady Andrew Lloyd Webber was openly discussing his relationship with Nicole Scherzinger, famous from the Pussycat Dolls. She was playing Grisabella overseas in Europe, and they were planning on bringing her over here to Broadway this year to play the role and, of course, to win her Tony Award. She decided not to do it and to do the X Factor UK instead. And he came out and said that, we'll find another girl. She just won't win her Tony Award. And now it's been announced who the new Grisabella will be, and it is actually going to be British superstar Leona Lewis. So I think that will be a great choice. She's a really strong vocalist. Y'all
Yes,
know I
she
was really
is.
pulling for Leah Michelle on that one. But yeah, they start shows next month, so I'm gonna try to check it out when I'm there in September.
Yay for the
Well, that's
Follow
biracial
it.
good.
girl.
That's good
Yay.
because Leona Lewis haven't done anything in quite some time.
Girl, don't be shady. We're over here trying to be nice and
No, 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 no.
uplifting.
I'm happy for her. I'm just saying. I'm just keeping it
I
real.
know,
She hasn't done
I
anything,
know.
but I'm
It's true.
happy for her.
I mean, that's why I said nicely British superstar. Did you catch that T? Did
Mhm.
you catch that? Hmm.
So congrats to her. I'm gonna have to check it out if I ever make my way to New York, which will hopefully be sooner than later. Now this one, these are two superstars that for them to
Hmm.
perform in Vegas, I feel like it's a little beneath. Well, I don't know. I don't want to say beneath them,
Yeah,
but it
I
seems
think
like a
what you're
little
trying to say
weird,
is right to be so relevant, right?
right?
Lady
So
Gaga and
Lady
Justin.
Gaga and Justin Timberlake. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, they're both pop music superstars that could easily sell out arenas around the world, and they're both being tapped to be headliners for for a Las Vegas residency in 2017. Um, a new report from the Las Vegas Sun claims that Gaga will be inking a deal to perform a string of shows as a jazz show, probably really similar to like what she performs with Tony Bennett, probably like a very intimate kind of thing. I'm assuming she would sing a couple of her big hits in sort of a jazzy, slowed down kind of way, and then Justin Timberlake would be the sort of big pop, over the top production artist that they have. So it's being rumored that they're going to be at the Monte Carlo. Apparently, they are building a brand new, renovated park theater there that will fit thousands of people. And so, of course, to compete, they have with the likes of Britney, Mariah, J Lo. Bruno Mars does a lot of residencies out there. All those other hotels and venues that are booking these big talents, of course, they're looking to do the same. Now, it hasn't been been confirmed, but an MGM Resort chairman did say, and this is a quote, "I can say the quality of those names you have written about are the nature of those we are working with. I can't confirm those exact names, but they are in the stratosphere of who we are going to have next year at the Park Theater. They will be the best of the best and someone who has never done this type of residency before." So it sounds like it is going to be them. And I think it could be a good thing, especially for Gaga when she's out on the road, when she's touring, she could do her big Gaga thing. But then, when she can always come back to Vegas and do a little bit more intimate and really use her vocal chops. And you have to think about, you're getting paid just as much to be a touring act and you don't have to leave. Like, people are coming to you. Like, that's a lot less stressful.
Right. But according to his statement, it seems like they're pretty much going to be the ones. It pretty much just sounds like they're waiting on just contract negotiations. That's what it really sounds like.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
I mean, congrats to both of them if they decide to. Well, first of all, I didn't even know Bruno Mars was doing a residency out there.
Yeah, he does them like 3 months at a time.
Oh, well, I'm not a Bruno Mars fan, so that's probably why I didn't know.
I think it cheapens.
And then also, I didn't know Mariah.
I think it cheapens. I think it cheapens their whole thing.
But it's almost not even like that anymore, though, because now all these big stars are doing it. Cher's trying to get back in Vegas now.
Cher's old.
I did hear.
Cher's
yeah,
old.
I did hear about that.
I mean, the people who go to Vegas usually are old legends who have had their career and they are done. And they want to go somewhere. They can just, like you said, just do it one place, and they come to you, and it's easier to make lots of money, and then be done. Bette Midler, Celine Dion, whatever. So I just think to me, it cheapens it. Maybe because I'm from a different generation, it cheapens it.
Right.
No, I kind of agree with you.
Yeah.
Right. When Britney did it, when it was first announced that Britney was doing it, that's kind of like what the mentality was. But now, since all these superstars have been doing them, it's kind of like a reinvention of it.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be interesting, now that we've had Britney and J-Lo and Mariah, and not saying that any of them are very contemporary, but they're superstars. They're not washed up.
Well, I agree, but I think
Kim.
Britney, though, is like not in her right mind anyway.
So. Don't. It's your birthday, so I'm gonna let it slide.
I can't stand that.
So,
bitch.
Okay, so wait a minute. So is Mariah still doing her residency in Vegas?
No, I don't think she's doing it right now.
Okay.
No.
J-Lo, I didn't even know she was trying to do a residency. Like, a lot of stuff I didn't know about.
I mean, it makes plenty of sense business-wise to me. It makes sense. I mean, it's not like it's a stupid move in that sense. It's just, to me, it's just like, why would you go to Vegas at this point in your career? But you're right. Things have changed. I think things are changing and because of what's happened with Britney and everyone else. So you're right.
Right. All right. So if it happens, congrats to them. Don't know if I'll go to Vegas just to see them, but it is what it is.
Well, that's the thing too, is like for me, like as a young person, I really like going to concerts when artists come to my city, because then it just feels more special and it's exciting. You kind of put it on the calendar rather than going to Vegas like 2 or 3 times a year, which I do. I know a lot of people do that. But for me, like, I'm a huge Britney fan, and I still have yet to go out there to see her. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like,
so you're not that big a fan.
It's a two-way street, double-sided coin. Yeah. Well, I've seen her 4 times. So it's like
a real fan. No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't go to Madonna either.
How long is her residency anyway?
Britney, her contract's up at the end of this year.
Oh, okay. So another small thing I want to talk about. This is another entertainment topic, but it kind of had a lot of people talking. Snoop Dogg. Okay, so before I say his name, actually, Roots did a remake, like a revised version of the movie Roots.
Yeah.
And for you guys that don't know, Roots was like this, powerful movie that came out like in the mid 1970s. Well, mid to late 1970s. It was involving slaves and the freedom of slaves and that type of thing. So they did a remake of like a revised, more modern version of it. I guess was somewhat modern. I guess.
Who did?
And Roots. They did a
Who did it? It's like on TV or what?
Yeah, it was on TV. It was on. I want to say A&E, I believe. Don't quote me, but I believe it was on the A&E network. Huh?
When was this?
This was back on Memorial Day, but for some reason, the reason it's coming out now, people are talking about it because Snoop Dogg made a comment about it, and that's why it's now kind of like in the media.
Oh.
So Snoop Dogg made a comment. He recorded something on his Instagram or something of that nature, and he said that he did not want to see any more slave movies where they're whipping black people or pushing them or treating them horribly or anything of that nature. He was just like, we've come past that. We're past that. And it seems like he was like, you know, quote unquote, white people love to see this shit happen, stuff like that. And I was just like, now, for a split second before my gears began to turn in my brain, I agreed with him, but then I immediately disagreed with him because in this day and age, I haven't been at a elementary school or high school in years. So, but it seems like from what I've heard from younger people, like they really don't even discuss Black history anymore. So I know that's probably not the way that he looks at it, but I mean, if the younger generation wants to know how slaves evolved and how they got the freedom and that type of thing, a movie is kind of, besides a textbook, of course, is going to give you a real thing. But if you want to see it, I feel like people need to see how this all happened and, that type of thing. So, for him to say something like that, saying that he doesn't want to see anything like that, I mean, he doesn't have to watch it. There's a lot of people that don't have to watch it. But for you to come out and say something like that, especially with, the way the education, the educational system is now, because I don't think they even teach Black history anymore in schools. Or if they do, it's very vague or very short. So what are you guys' thoughts on that?
I think that you're absolutely right. I think that they have to continue to teach, because if you don't know about where you came from, you don't know where you're going. You don't know where you came from. You don't know who you are, why things are the way they are, and you're, of course, doomed to repeat history, blah, blah, blah. All that bullshit, which is true. So I don't think that to say that we don't need to see this anymore is bullshit. Just like it's what you say that the Jews would say, oh, we don't want to see any of those Nazi or those Holocaust movies anymore because we're past that now. It's not right. It's not true. I mean, that is both of those instances, slavery in America as well as, of course, the Holocaust towards Jews, and also gays were there as well, other people, were two of the worst times in world history. And to not understand why it happened, and to not understand where what the environment was when it happened, why it happened, is to allow that to happen again. And so I think it's absolutely important. I think Snoop Dogg's a dork, and obviously dumbass, doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, and smokes way too much pot. So he's an idiot.
Right. He was saying that about that as well as 12 Years a Slave and like Django. He was like, those movies need to stop.
And like you said, why are they going to know about the history? When I say to my my nephew, he says nigga this and nigga that to his friends, hey nigga, stuff like that. He's white as like the driven snow, blonde, blue eyed, and everything. I'm like, don't say that around me. And he's like, why? He's like, oh, I don't mean it like that. I was like, I don't care how you mean it. I said, you don't understand where that word comes from or why. I say, I know you're saying nigga, but that doesn't make it any better. I said it does not matter. So he doesn't understand. I understand he's not racist at all, but I understand he doesn't understand why that bothers me so much. And so my point is
he's young, so of course he's not going to know.
It's not that's an
he's
excuse
going with the current. He's going with the current pop culture.
It doesn't matter what the pop culture is. Educate your fucking self. No,
I
about shit.
That. No, I understand that. I agree with
I'm
you.
talking. My anger is not towards you. It's towards him. I'm saying he needs to educate his fucking self about where things come from before he starts spouting shit out of his mouth. And so instead of saying that word in any form or other way, instead of saying that and understanding why it hurts so many people and why it exists, he can say something else, say brother or something. I don't know. He doesn't have to use that word. And also rap music and everything else and all this stuff, also people appropriate. We're talking about appropriating culture. Appropriate that, white people do a lot of times for themselves, and they don't understand the history behind that either. So there's a lot of pain, but it's just really the same for gay people or black people or Hispanic people or whatever. You don't get it unless you understand. So yes, you have to have movies because, as you said, how else are they going to find it? They're going to read it in a fucking book because they don't read it anymore. All they do is watch TV and shit. Or make a video game out of it.
I mean, my cousin right now is a high school senior. Well, he just recently graduated. He was a high school senior. He said that they didn't even talk about Black history. Like he was like, I went to school the entire year. They didn't. He said I don't remember them saying anything and teaching anything about Black history.
I am not surprised at all.
So I was like, oh,
did you know? Did you know? Speaking of this, real quickly, did you know that Texas, our textbooks are the